Beomgyu, Tan, where are you?
Wandering around the fog, Soobin realizes he's now in a graveyard. Just then, Soobin feels as bugs start to crawl all around him. However, these aren't normal bugs. Running, Soobin stops to catch his breath when he sees a shadow approaching him.
Tan!
He shouts. Taehyun doesn't respond.
Tan?
Soobin slowly backs up. Soobin realizes he's too late, but before he can do anything else, he wakes up. Soobin groans as his alarm goes off. He looks over to see 10:26.
I'm late.
He quickly rushes out the door.
Sorry I'm late.
He says while putting his coat down. Strangely, the room is empty.
Hello?
He looks around. Suddenly, he gets a phone call. It's Taehyun, one of Soobin's friends.
Tan?
Soobin, you need to get here.
He says, panicking.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
There's bugs everywhere.
Bugs?
They're not normal bugs. Please just get here.
The phone cuts out. Soobin stood frozen in the empty office, not knowing if it was some kind of prank. Without thinking anything else, Soobin grabbed his coat and rushed out the door. At the bus stop, he anxiously waited. Finally, the bus showed up. The bus driver didn't respond when Soobin greeted him. He felt it was strange, but just sat down. Soobin noticed there wasn't anyone on the usually crowded bus, but ignored that as well. He got to a stop and noticed people were crowding around outside. Before getting out of the bus, Soobin looked back at the bus driver. He growled at Soobin, and Soobin quickly got out. Now outside, Soobin stood in the cold wind before making his way to Taehyun's place. He knocked and then waited. Suddenly the door swung open and Soobin was pulled inside.
What was that about?
It's dangerous out there. You've got to be careful.
If only you would tell me what's happening.
Suddenly they both hear a loud bang somewhere in the house. They follow the sound to the living room where they see Beomgyu.
Beomgyu, what are you doing here?
They're everywhere. Please let me stay here.
Beomgyu is another one of Soobin's friends.
Who's everywhere?
You really don't know?
Soobin gave him a confused look.
Zombies.
Soobin burst out laughing.
Zombies? Really?
He continued laughing.
He's telling the truth.
I'm leaving. I'm missing a meeting for this.
He says while making his way out. When Soobin opened the door, he saw somebody standing there already. They opened their mouth ready to bite when Taehyun stabbed and pulled Soobin back inside.
What are you doing?
Saving your life.
Beomgyu was curled up on the couch the whole time.
That was a person.
They were a zombie.
How long are you going to keep this up?
I'm telling you, they were a zombie.
Soobin and Taehyun continued to argue. Without them realizing, the zombies started to slowly get back up.
Guys?
They continued to argue without hearing Beomgyu.
Guys!
What?
Behind you!
Soobin turned just in time to see the zombie running towards him. He dodged it.
I told you, it's a zombie.
He said while running to the other side of the room. Soobin tried to talk to the zombie, thinking it wasn't a zombie.
Are you okay?
He asked the zombie. The zombie didn't say anything and tried to scratch him.
They're just sick.
Soobin tried to convince himself. Suddenly, Soobin was grabbed and he screamed as he was about to be bitten. Taehyun then knocked a lamp over it.
Okay, I believe you.
He said while panting.
Quick, get it out before it wakes back up.
He said from the couch he was still on. Soobin and Taehyun picked the zombie up and quickly threw it out the door. Hours later, and it was now 5 p.m.
What are you guys doing?
We're trying to find a cure.
A cure?
He got up curiously.
So far we've got nothing.
We don't got nothing. This one seems good.
He held up a bottle.
We just need to test it.
He continued.
Test it.
Soobin nodded.
You want to go out there?
I have to. It's the only way.
He walked to the door.
You can't go alone.
Will you go with me?
Soobin rolled his eyes as he continued to the door.
Just be safe.
Obviously, I'll try.
Soobin slowly walked out the door. Outside, Soobin saw as the sky was a pinkish-orange glow as he felt the cold wind around him. He sighed as he knew what was to come.
Really? All of this because some bugs?
He said to himself. Suddenly, he heard a rumbling sound coming from the ground. He held tightly onto the bottle in his hand. Suddenly, thousands of insects start to crawl out of the ground. They start to crawl up Soobin's leg, and he quickly sprays the bottle. The bugs screech before falling to the ground. Soobin sighs of relief. Just then, the bugs start to crawl together and grow into a tall creature. Soobin slowly steps back before running as the creature shoots bugs at him. While running, Soobin dodges zombies before he trips. He notices he's now in a graveyard as zombies start to surround him. Soobin shuts his eyes in anticipation. Suddenly, Taehyun is there and he blocks the zombie from biting Soobin.
Run.
He says while holding onto the zombie.
What? No, I'm not gonna leave you to die.
Just go. I'll hold them off.
Soobin reluctantly got up and started running. He kept running until he got back to Taehyun's place. Soobin banged on the door until Beomgyu opened it. Soobin slumped onto the couch.
Soobin, where's Taehyun?
Soobin didn't say anything, just went to the table where they made their cure.
Soobin?
He said in a sad tone.
I'm gonna save him. I'm gonna find the cure.
Hours passed and Soobin was still trying things.
Have you found anything yet?
I'm almost there.
He says while focused.
Wait, I think I got something.
He says excitedly.
What is it?
This could be it.
He said as he held the purple substance in the bottle up to the light. Just like before, Soobin was standing outside, only now it was nearly midnight and the moon was shining down on him. He slowly walked through the fog while holding the bottle. Only now, he wasn't scared anymore. Instead, he was determined to save his friend.
I'm coming with you.
He said from behind Soobin.
You can't. It's too dangerous.
That's why you can't go alone.
Soobin wanted to argue, but knew he couldn't talk him out of it.
Take this then.
Soobin handed Beomgyu a second bottle. Soobin and Beomgyu were now walking in the fog. Eventually the fog was too much, and when Soobin turned around, Beomgyu was gone.
Beomgyu?
He called out.
Beomgyu, where are you?
He decided to keep going.
Taehyun, are you here?
He called out, hoping to find him. After wandering around a lot, he realized he was back at the graveyard. Soobin feels strange, like this happened before, but he can't quite know why. Suddenly, he notices a shadow walking towards him.
Taehyun!
Taehyun doesn't respond.
Taehyun?
Suddenly, Soobin remembers his dream.
It wasn't just a dream.
He says to himself. Taehyun slowly walks closer as bugs follow his feet. Soobin stands still. When Taehyun gets close enough, Soobin quickly sprays the bottle in his face. Taehyun falls back and the bugs start to disappear. Soobin rushes to Taehyun.
Taehyun?
Taehyun groans, and Soobin smacks him out of fear.
What was that for?
He says in annoyance.
It's you!
Soobin says, hugging Taehyun.
Oh, what's with all the mushy stuff?
Soobin laughs. Suddenly, they both hear some noise in the fog and freeze. It's Beomgyu again.
You guys are okay.
He says, running over.
You found Taehyun.
Turns out the potion works.
He says excitedly.
Was that really a zombie?
That's not the point. The point is now we can save everyone.
With one bottle?
We'll need more.
He says while getting up.
You with me?
Taehyun and Beomgyu smile at Soobin.